July 2024. Firstly, because we have some people online, including myself, we want to make sure that everyone can see and hear. In the chamber, can you see and hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Councillor Stevens?
Yes, I can see you and hear you, Mayor.
Councillor Ripper?
Yes, Mayor, I can see and hear you clearly.
And Councillor Marr?
Yes, Mayor, I can see and hear you.
And in the chamber, you can see and hear the other councillors?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
All see and hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. Members of the public gallery should note that the council records and publishes council meetings via YouTube to enhance the accessibility of council meetings to the broader Wellington community. These recordings are also archived and may be published on council's website for viewing by public or used for publicity or information purposes. At the appropriate times during the meeting, members of the gallery may address the council, at which time their image, comments or submissions will be recorded. Members of the public who are not in attendance at the council meeting but who wish to communicate with the council via the online web form should lodge their questions or comments early in the meeting to ensure their submissions can be dealt with at the end of the meeting. Please could gallery visitors, councillors and invited online attendees ensure that mobile phones and other electronic devices are turned off or in silent mode for the duration of the meeting. Wellington Shire Council acknowledges our officers are located on the traditional lands of the Gunai-Kurnai Nation. We pay our deep respects to their elders past, present and future and acknowledge their ongoing cultural and spiritual connections to their land and waters. I thought I'd just inform Councillor Marr and myself were going to be an apology for this meeting, and Councillor Stevens was going to be the acting mayor, as was stated last council meeting. But we thought it important that we actually dial in when there's a motion that may affect the budget for this year that has already been adopted. There are no apologies. Is there any declarations of conflicts of interest? No? Item 3.1, someone to adopt the minutes of the previous council meeting, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councillor Wood.
I move that Council adopt the minutes and resolutions of the ordinary council meeting of the 18th of June 2024.
Happy to
And
second,
seconded
Mayor.
by
Happy to second, Mayor.
Councillor Rossetti. Is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried. Happy with that, Councillor Wood?
Thank you, Mayor.
Item 4, business arising from previous meetings, there are none. Item 5, acceptance or late of urgent items, there are none. Item 6, notices of motion. Someone to move that motion, please.
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to move that motion.
Councillor Tatterson.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that Council instruct the Chief Executive Officer to appoint a professional planning consultant by the 30th of August 2024 to undertake a review of Council's current processes for maintenance, planning, management and support of all community, recreation, services and facilities and provide a draft report to Council by April 2025. And 2, the review should consider current documents and processes with recommendations for changes to processes, planning, management and council support, including timelines for any changes with consideration of the below items: capital planning processes and programs, current management models to specifically direct managed of a number of facilities in sale, who and how facility maintenance support and council subsidies are provided, appropriateness of hierarchies and their number and role, council service levels for activities, maintenance, capital and management of each service, including but not limited to libraries, halls, service clubs, sports, recreational, motorsport, equestrian, aquatic and children's services, and current levels of facility use and opportunities for facility rationalisation.
And seconded by?
I'll second that. Marcus McKenzie.
Councillor McKenzie. Is that motion opposed?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes.
Opposed? Yep. In that case, we'll go back to Councillor Tatterson.
Thank you, Mayor. This, I believe, is a really important piece of work. At the moment, we seem to struggle in dealing with planning and maintenance and management of facilities, and particularly some of the facilities across the Sale things. Our capital planning processes refer to hierarchy, community importance, levels of participation, efficiency and asset conditions. The matrix uses a percentage system, and when you look at the scores that are provided, scores add up to above 100%. So it just doesn't make sense to me. Something like the Gibsons Road facility adds up to, with a $15.5 million facility, scores at 117%. So when you're marking out of 100, it doesn't make sense. The Stratford Hub also scores at 117%, but we haven't heard any further planning or development work on that. And the Market Street Hub at $6.6 million got the same ranking. So Gibsons Road's a very expensive facility that is not a council direct service. So it's something that's of concern. The Gibsons Road was initially 15.5 million, with 4.5 million, with about a third of that money coming from rates. It's now, we're getting told at a recent briefing, likely to be closer to $12 million, with around about $8 million worth of rates. So it is a significant investment for council when we've got so many other facilities that are in poor or in need of help, and we're not able to support those. It seems like every time we get a new request, we seem to start from scratch, whether it's a Dragon Boat Club, U3A looking for a home, Merloo Rec Reserve, museums, Sale Oval management. Councillors and officers don't seem to have a clear position on how to respond to such requests. Council has hundreds of community assets, many in poor condition. The cost of upgrading all facilities would be well beyond council's financial capacity under our current rating system. A robust plan or a review of all our plans should identify the key facilities that can be upgraded or repaired or maintained within council's resources. Unfortunately, it may be many years before we're able to get to all our facilities. We need to start planning for those, and we need to tell our community which facilities are to be upgraded. I would seek someone independent to look at our current policies and recommendations on improvements to provide clear direction for council and the community. The current management model, specifically relating to Sale, the planning document looked at community managed facilities. This left the City of Sale's direct managed facilities untouched after some 30 years since council amalgamations. This should be addressed as the other towns and facilities are managed by volunteers. Those volunteers put in an amazing effort. There's no definitive document that clearly outlines or articulates what the community facilities support is provided by council. Council can be an advocate, a landlord, a funding authority or a service provider. Nearly all the facilities where council is the provider are in Sale, except for our pools and libraries. It seems that Sale do very well out of this council. The funding provided to community managed facilities is a fraction of the cost of the real cost that council would bear if they were providing those services directly themselves, like the Sale model. Our volunteers to continue to bear the brunt of this massive amount of work in our communities. They take pride in their facilities and make a massive contribution to the community, while Sale facilities get fully funded at significant cost to council. Council spends significantly more on the operation of facilities in Sale than they do across the rest of the Shire. The hierarchies seem to be confusing to me. The documents describe district, regional and local level facilities. And then we look at the hierarchies and we've got level 1, which is regional, then we've got a 1B, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. This creates a lack of easy understanding for the users. Council service levels for activities, maintenance, capital and management for each service, including but not limited libraries and halls and sports, I believe need to be reviewed. I would ask that you support the councillors support this motion so that the new incoming council later this year has an improved understanding of the challenges that they will face in the provision of community, cultural and recreation services and facilities. Thank you.
Councillor Mackenzie, would you like to speak now or reserve your right?
I'll speak now, Mayor, if you like.
Go ahead.
I wish to support Councillor Tatterson in his notice of motion to review community and recreational facilities. Since being elected in 2020, Councillor Tatterson has provided me and all councillors a high degree of knowledge on the operations of council. One of Councillor Tatterson's platforms to serve the community was around ensuring that all community and recreation facilities within the Shire that provide clear direction for staff that work in that space. Have processes that provide clear direction for staff that work in that space. There are many papers from the infrastructure strategy, infrastructure plan and infrastructure policy, and while the different papers have the idealism to provide a clear vision, unfortunately this is not the case. Last September we were advised during the workshop by the General Manager of Community Facilities and Emergencies, who recommended to appoint an external consultant to review all facilities, which is now 10 months further down the road. In recent times, council staff have met with committee of managements around maintenance of council-owned buildings to be told, speak with your local councillor who may be able to move the project up the list. If council can provide a strong and solid set of procedures, strategies and plans based on quantifiable data, they'd be more confident to answer the request in a more confident way. Under the community and facility strategy, we have legacies that need to be reversed. It's unreasonable to ask communities that live less than 10 kilometres from Sale to maintain what ultimately are council facilities with dollar subsidies far less than the cost of direct management facilities in Sale are 100% managed by council staff as a significant cost to council. This is an imbalance that the external review can provide recommendations on how to reverse these anomalies. In the paper completed by council staff, it is noted that the amount of $84,000 is in the 2024-2025 budget, and as requested by Councillor Tatterson, I ask councillors to support his notice of motion so that consultancy works commence from August 2024 and provide a level of strong legacy for the next council. I ask my fellow councillors to support this external consultancy paper and for Councillor Tatterson to be part of the working group to provide terms of engagement so that we get the best result out of the study. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mackenzie. Councillor Stevens.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Look, I am very sympathetic to what Councillor Tatterson wants to achieve, and yet, I mean, when you have a look at all the plans we've got, Mayor, we have got lots of work in progress. We've got 2 consultancies that are happening now in this financial year. And the community managed facilities strategy, which is probably one of the key documents, it was adopted for 2020 to 2025 and will be reviewed next year. So I'm of the opinion that we need to do the work that we've got underway. We need to sort of consolidate where we're going. And then I think we should come back and review what Councillor Tatterson's trying to achieve and see if we can fill in some gaps. But in the meantime, I think that we've got a huge body of work. We've got a number of plans that are already adopted, Mayor, and the estimate is that we would have to find, I think, something like another $120,000 from memory So that I'm just feel that at the moment we need to just steer a steady course with the projects we've got on hand, with the consultancies that we're working on, and then we can see where we've got gaps that we need to fill in. So yeah, while I'm not opposed to what Councillor Tatterson's on about, I just think that we need to do a little bit more work that's already in progress before we go ahead. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Stevens. Would anybody else like to speak against the motion or for the motion? Councillor Marr.
I'm happy to speak against the motion, Mayor. I think in many ways that I concur with Councillor Stevens that I think we're jumping the gun just a little bit. We're 2 days into a new budget And in our new budget, and as per the briefing notes that our officers have provided, that there are review components that are already budgeted for and will be undertaken. There are also numerous, the core suite of documents that were more recently completed in February and November of 2022 and December 2023. So they are still very much relevant documents. I also feel that this work, whilst it's very important, I would like to see it actually be discussed further with our new council, so that they actually completely understand the suite of the policies and core documents that will be before them, and allow them to make decisions. And I just feel that by us making this decision today, we are providing some impost upon that new council and their decisions. I also have a concern with regard to the 30th of August completion date of appointing a consultant, particularly as the officers have recommended and outlined a timeline of 13 weeks. And I would probably believe that even that is a best possible outcome. And as we all know, that trying to put tenders out and seeking consultants to respond and going through the procurement process of that is certainly time consuming. And if we want to do our due diligence, we certainly shouldn't be advocating to take any shortcuts. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Marr. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? If not, I'll put that motion to a vote. Those in favour of the motion, please show your hand. Councillor Wood, I can't quite see you. Is your hand up or down?
No, it's down, Mayor.
Is it
Thank
easier,
you,
Mayor, if I
Councillor
call
Wood.
for a division?
Yes.
Thank you, that would be easier.
Okay.
So those against are Councillor Ripper. Those four are Councillor Ripper, Councillor Tatterson and Councillor McKenzie. And against?
Rossetti?
Wood.
Crossley.
Marr.
Stevens and By. So that would mean that is 6 against 3 for. Motion is defeated. Thank you, everyone.
Was that a division, Councillor Rossetti?
Yes. Yeah, Councillor Rossetti called a division. So we know, for the people that don't know what a division is, a division means just that we name the people that voted for and the people that voted against, and it goes on record. Thank you, everyone. Item 7.1, outstanding petitions, we have none. Item 8, invite addresses, presentations or acknowledgements. Do we have any? Councillor Crossley.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I'd like to acknowledge and send congratulations to the Sale United Football Club for receiving a Vic Sports Community Sports Event Award for the year 2023 for their annual primary school Twilight Tournament. This has been a great achievement, and each year the Vic Sports Awards honours athletes, coaches, administrators and volunteers who have made exceptional contributions to the sport in Victoria from the previous calendar year. This has had the Twilight Soccer tournament has had a great history of nearly 30 years, I think it was. And it commenced in 1993, and there were 15 teams. And in 2023, it has grown to 67 teams with 700 children playing soccer every Monday evening during term 4. So it's obviously to organise that amount of children. It's also taken a huge amount of contribution of parents to bring them there, and also the children themselves, but a great outcome and great acknowledgement for the very hard-working volunteers that have continued this great tournament, and congratulations to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Crosley. Well said. It's great to recognise our great sporting communities. Item 9, questions on notice. We have none. Item 10, delegates reports. Is there any?
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
Councillor Crosley.
As a delegate for the Gippsland Climate Change Network, I'd like to report that we had a very successful launch of the Gippsland New Energy Conference at the Latrobe City at the Gippsland Performing Arts Centre precinct in Traralgon yesterday, accompanied by some Wellington Council colleagues and proponents of offshore wind, partners, sponsors, government agencies. There was about 30 or 40 of us at the launch. And yes, of great excitement that the tickets go on sale this Wednesday on the website, which can be at gnec.com.au. This is the third iteration of the Gippsland New Energy Conference, and Wellington Shire was the proud host of the first 2 successful conferences, and we are now joined with Latrobe City to host this year's conference. It was nicely acknowledged by the Mayor of Latrobe City, Councillor Darren Howe, when he spoke yesterday, that it was really the initiative of the Wellington Shire Council that created this great event, which is Australia's most extensive regional-led energy conference in Australia, as I say. So it has international reach, and this year the focus is going to be on supply chains and various other things that actually are focused in the Latrobe City. But if you indulge me, I'd like to actually read your comment, Mayor, that said the Wellington Shire, our commitment to renewable energy is not just about making sure our region is ready to transition and support Victoria's new energy goals, but also about driving economic growth, creating jobs, and ensuring a sustainable future for our local community. So that is certainly the endeavour to showcase all the opportunities that this new transition to new energy holds for the region. So we look forward to the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Crosley, and that's exactly what I'm currently doing with the Deputy Mayor Gail Maher and our CEO David Morcombe. We're currently in Canberra at the Australian Local Government Conference, and I'll just come out of a session that was actually on energy transition. So it is a hot topic up here in Canberra, and we look forward to coming back and letting the Wellington residents know some exciting things that are happening. Thank you. Any other delegates' reports? No? Item 11.1, Assembly of Council report. Someone to move that, please.
I was going to move it, but if Councillor Maher would like to do that, she's welcome.
I'm more than happy to move it.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that Council note and receive the attached Assembly of Council records for the period 10th of June 2024 to the 23rd of June 2024. And
seconded by Councillor Rossetti. Is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried. Councillor Maher.
I just note that the attachments include the Assembly of Councillors 3rd of June 2024, which was the Gippsland Art Gallery Advisory Group meeting, and our meeting on the 18th of June when we all attended. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Maher. Item 11.2, review of the risk management policy. Someone to move that, please.
Yes.
Councillor Stevens.
I was going to move that, Mayor, but I must admit I haven't got the wording. I'm
happy to move that motion. Councillor Stevens is, if you're happy to talk to it.
Yeah, if you've got the wording, go for it.
I move the council adopt the risk management policy as attached.
I'll second it.
And seconded by Councillor Stevens.
Yes.
Yeah, is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried. Councillor Stevens, would you like to talk to that?
Yes. Well, of course, this is now the, I suppose, the second year Mayor, that we have been working very hard on our risk management policy and all the components. It's gone back to the Audit and Risk Committee, and I think the Audit and Risk Committee have been keeping a close watch on what the council's been doing and are happy with the outcomes to date. So this is really, it's an important body of work because it not only gives us guidance for how we look after our people, but there's a dollar bonus at the bottom line, Mayor, because if we do appropriate work under all our risk management programs, and then we can hopefully have a reduction in work cover episodes and incidents, and that should lead to reduced costs and of course better outcomes for all our staff. So I commend all our risk management policies. Thank the staff for the work they've done, and this is an ongoing program, but we will have to keep working on right well into the future. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Stevens. Item 12.1, plant purchase grader and roller Rural South. Someone to move that, please. Councillor Tatterson.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that Council adopt the recommendations contained in the attached confidential tender evaluation report, tender VP 410907, and 2, note that the information contained in the confidential attachment 12.1.2 tender evaluation report, tender VP 410907 and 12.13 desktop valuation were designated confidential by the General Manager Built and Natural Environment on the 14th of June 2024 because they contain confidential information as defined under Section 3.1 of the Local Government Act 2020, being G2 private commercial information, being information provided by a business, commercial or financial undertaking that, if released, would unreasonably expose the business, commercial or financial undertaking to disadvantage, except that once the recommendation's been adopted, the name of the successful tenderer can be made public, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
And seconded by? Oh, I think Councillor Rupert just got in before you, Councillor Wood. So seconded by Councillor Rupert. Is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried. Councillor Tatterson.
Are you going to announce the successful tenderer, Mr Mayor?
Oh, sorry, Councillor Tatterson. Yes. I'll just find that my mouse does not work up here. I've run out of cheese or batteries. Maybe Councillor Tatterson with that one. Okay. I can announce the successful tenderer is Komatsu Australia for the purchase of the grader and roller. So congratulations to Komatsu. Thank you, Councillor Tatterson.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I think it's an important piece of our plan. Our grading of our rural road network is critically important to our rural farming and community. So to have modern, efficient, effective plant is critically important, and the Komatsu grader will certainly support our staff in looking to maintain our gravel road network. So well done, and thanks to the officers, and we'll look forward to seeing a shiny new grader down in the Yarram depot in their region.
Thank you, Councillor Tatterson. Item 12.2, plant purchase street sweeper for urban. Someone to move that, please.
I'm also happy to
Councillor
move that, Mayor. I move that Council adopt the recommendation contained in the attached confidential tender evaluation report, tender VP 410947, and item 2 as written in the agenda.
And seconded by? I think Councillor Marr just got you, Councillor Stevens. Is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried. Before I go back to Councillor Tatterson, the successful tenderer was Rosemec Sales and Service Proprietary Limited for the street sweeper. So congratulations. Councillor Tatterson.
Again, this is a critically important piece of plant. When you drive around all of our local towns and you have a look at leaves and things in the gutter, the street sweepers provide a really important service right across our shire. They certainly help protect our drainage network, because if we didn't pick it up with the street sweeper, those leaves and litter would end up in our drainage network and create more issues for us. So congratulations to the tenderer and thanks to the officers for their work.
Thank you, Councillor Tatterson. Acting CEO, is there any online comments?
None, Mayor.
Is there anyone in the gallery?
Yes, there is.
So who is it? Yeah, if anyone in the gallery that will...
There's no one. There's no one that likes to speak in the gallery. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, no problems at all. In that case, I'll declare the meeting closed at 5:30 exactly. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor.